Every revolution starts with someone opening their mouth. Most of them should have kept it shut. We talk too much. Everyone's got a microphone now. Even me. Don't worry, I hate that much as you do. This is not a sermon. It's a conversation that got lost on its way to the pub. I grew up believing words could fix things. Then I got a job. Met people, used Twitter, realized words mostly start fires. So, this podcast is me trying again. To say something that still means something. To see if honesty still has a pulse. We say we value true until someone actually tells it. Then, it's tone it down, mate, or worse, that's not very inclusive of you, whatever the hell that means. The word used to be sacred, now it's PR. Also, full disclosure, English is not my first language, sarcasm is. So if you don't get me, that's on you. Today, we are talking about the word, the most dangerous thing you can hold without a license. A few letters, a bit of hair, and suddenly you've lost your job. Ask J.K. Rowling. She pressed send and half the planet lost its mind. So yeah, welcome to the Unfiltered Outsider. Pull up a chair, but don't get too comfortable. I tend to bite. So, where were we? Right, words. Everyone's got something to say, and most of it sounds like an ad for nothing. The world used to have thinkers and doers. Now we've got talkers and commenters. And I'm both, which is tragic really. We've reached the point where silence feels illegal. If you're not posting, someone assumes you've died. Even funerals have hashtags now, you know? Rest in peace, link in bio. Remember when we'd kept a thought to yourself? Yeah, that's vintage behavior now. Voice notes, bloody hell, the modern love letter, 45 seconds of breathing and trauma. People don't text anymore, they podcast at each other. I've had shorter relationships than some of these voice notes. Meetings, group voice notes with snacks. And WhatsApp groups, well, they are emotional minefields. Leave once and someone has you back, like it's a cult. You can't escape. You can only mute. The news? Well, the news used to tell you what happened. Now, it tells you who to hate about it. It's not journalism anymore. It's mood management. They don't inform you. They perform for you. There's a reason every headline sounds like clickbait written by an intern on caffeine and despair. And politicians? Well, they talk like influencers now. The only difference is ring lights. And at least influencers admit they are selling something. Every campaign looks like an unboxing video. Here's my new policy, sponsored by whoever's still talking to me. They used to kiss babies, you remember? Now they post selfies with them. It's like we replace leadership with content creation. Everyone's desperate to go viral. No one's interested in being useful. And influencers? Well, God bless them. They talk like therapists. Hey guys, just checking. Remember to stay hydrated, set boundaries, and buy my merch. Self-care has turned into a marketing strategy. Nothing says I'm healed like a discount code. And here am I, a man with a microphone, complaining about how everyone talks too much. The irony isn't lost on me. I just chose not to care. At least I'm honest about it, which is more than you can say for half of social media. X, is basically a shouting competition where everyone's holding mirrors. It's the only place where you can call someone a monster and still end up following them for the drama. People don't go there to connect. They go to watch fires burn. Ideal once they started. Instagrams know better. Everyone's living their truth, mostly from rented flats with perfect lighting. You can spot the difference between happiness and content. Happiness doesn't have a filter. And if it's really love, well, why are you both looking at the camera? TikTok's basically nursery rhymes for adults. Scroll, laugh, forget why you opened the app. You start watching a recipe and end up diagnosing yourself with ADHD and low self-esteem. And Facebook? That's where optimism goes to die. It's the internet's retirement home. Everyone's hungry, nostalgic, or trying to sell a sofa. The truth is, none of us want silence anymore. Silence means you might have to think, and thinking is fucking exhausting. Sometimes I still trip on words, which is fine, until I met some people who think sarcasm dialect of cruelty. It's not. It's just honesty with bad attitude. I've had people correct my pronunciation mid-sentence, which is ironic considering half the country still says espresso. I used to feel self-conscious about my accent. Now, I just feel sorry for people who think sounding the same makes them smarter. My accent goes stronger when I'm hungry, or drunk, or honest. So yeah, this podcast is going to be a roller coaster. We talk too much, and somehow we've learned to say less every year. We've turned language into noise, and truth into PR. Maybe that's why when someone actually says what they think, the world loses its mind. Speaking of which, remember the author who lived? I remember the first time I opened a Harry Potter book. That smell of paper and hope. Back when stories still felt like magic instead of marketing. She wrote about a boy who survived, and somehow we all decided that meant us. We survived schools, we survived heartbreak, and we survived dial-up internet. Her books made courage sound cool. They made loyalty a personality trait. They made kids read, which in the 90s was basically witchcraft. You can tell someone's entire childhood by which house they picked. Gryffindor, confident narcissist. Slytherin, future lawyer. Ravenclaw, overthinker with anxiety. Hufflepuff, unpaid intern with a big heart. She made midnight book launches feel like rituals. Whole generations dressed as wizards, standing outside bookshops pretending we were chosen ones. When really, we were just chosen consumers. The woman turned reading into religion, and for a while we actually believed in it. But then the world did what always does. It built her a pedestal and started sharpening knives. Because every hero eventually overstays the applause, especially the ones who keep tweeting after midnight. It started like every modern tragedy does, with a tweet. 7 words, one sarcastic joke about people who masturbate, and suddenly, poof, 20 years of goodwill vanished like horcrux. Half of the world laughed, the other half lit torches. It was the only time Twitter actually united people in mutual outrage. Publishers panicked, actors released statements, and fans started deleting tattoos like they were erasing evidence. Bookshops hid their novels behind shelves marked safe literature, which is picky irony, censoring the woman who literally wrote about censorship. She wrote essays, stood her ground, refused to apologize for having an opinion. And that, apparently, was the biggest crime of all. In 2020, you could say almost anything as long as it wasn't your own opinion. The internet didn't want a discussion, it wanted entertainment, and nothing entertains like a public execution. They call it accountability. It looks more like a theater. Twitter became the Ministry of Magic rewritten by Kafka. Rules everywhere, no forgiveness, and a comment section full of dementors. Not sucking souls, just nuance. Let's be honest, this was never about her. It was about us. We live in the age where rage is a hobby. People wake up angry and go online to exercise it. Outrage is the new cardio. You can burn a reputation faster than calories. We call it holding people accountable. Sounds noble, doesn't it? It's not justice. It's theater with comments. We've built digital coliseums and called them platforms. Lions used to hit Christians. Now it's just opinions. We talk about inclusion, but how have movements behaved like cults? Believe everything or be banished. That's not activism, that's theology with better branding. We don't debate anymore, we diagnose. You're not wrong, you are toxic. You're not disagreeing, you're dangerous. And somehow we made empathy conditional. You only get it if you pass the vibe check. Rowling wrote an entire series about moral absolutism, the Ministry of Magic, the propaganda, the public shaming. She literally warned us. We just didn't realize we were playing her villains. She gave us a mirror and we smashed it because we didn't like the reflection. And still, she lives. Not the character, the woman. She outwrote the storm. That's what writers do. The world turns feral and they keep typing. She didn't disappear, she just changed names. Robert Galbraith, the literary version of an invisibility cloak. And the internet found him too, because outrage is the only fandom that never sleeps. She's not the out of Harry Potter anymore, she's the out of controversy, a genre that world invented just for her. Look at the scale of it. One woman, one sentence, one generation raised on tolerance, devouring its own teacher. It's poetic, it's biblical, it's fucking exhausting. The same kids who once believed in Dumbledore's army now police each other like dead heaters in HR. We talk about empathy like it's a badge, but the minute someone we don't like needs it, we rip it off. We say we care about mental health until someone we hate breaks down. Then we call it karma. We say we want justice, but some days we just want someone to suffer, preferably on camera. And maybe that's the real tragedy. Not what she said, not what they did, but what we've become since. Because the internet doesn't want truth, it wants spectacle. It wants saints to worship and witches to burn. And we feed it every single day. She gave us a boy who lived, and somehow became the woman who did it too. Right, that's probably enough honesty for one day. My microphone started, my coffee's cold, and somewhere out there someone's already angry about something I said, I know. But that's alright, outrage keeps the lights on. Well, not mine, obviously, I pay for those. I started it thinking I would change minds. Turns out, I'm just entertaining people who already agree with me, which honestly is still cheaper than therapy. Next week, we are talking about the people who were born on level 5 and still complain about the climb, the privileged ones. Until then, stay loud, stay human, and try not to cancel anyone before breakfast. Uninfluenced, unpaid, unfiltered, I'm Jackman, and this was the Unfiltered Outsider.